What's up, y'all? It's your boy P-Lot, aka the Brick Slinger. And guess what? Your boy got something to say. I know some of y'all already heard about Cleflo Dollar trying to denounce his whole theology and philosophy when it comes to tithing. Because he's one of the many faces of this thing called prosperity gospel. And he spent practically 20 years now speaking on prosperity, speaking on tithing. Probably use tithing in the form of, if you don't tithe, you're not going to be blessed by God type of teaching. But here's my thing. Him getting on that pulpit and telling his people, look, I'm still learning, was enough for me. So maybe at that point he got a checkpoint of his life where he realized, man, maybe I've been teaching this stuff wrong, or I've been doing this the wrong way, because the word never support what I preach all this time. And if it did, I did not present it the right way. Because you got to remember, a few years ago, Benny Hinn did that same thing. And there's many other televangelists that managed to use God for money. I've seen it many times. Just like you have seen it many times. Where somebody was trying to give you that good word, and then out of the woodwork, he'd be like, I see 100 people with $1,000. If you give us $1,000, God will bless you. Like the word said, if you pour water in the man of God, give that man a full cup of water, he'll give you blessing. Because there's many scriptures where folks have given a prophet something that was their last, that was their all, something that was going to be saved to take care of their family. But yet they trusted God to feed that man of God, to look out for that man of God, and they end up being blessed afterwards. However, within the past 20 years, those scriptures, those stories that's in the Bible that say these things has been used to manipulate people. I admit that. I agree with you. Because there's been plenty of times where I'm like, wait a minute. Some just don't feel right, but I'm going to play my part anyway. Because then it's not even, and it's not just the people on the pulpit. There's people in the congregation that do that same thing too. Because you got to be careful with the wolves in sheep clothing as well. But we don't talk about this stuff because we don't want to offend nobody in the church. And if you do speak this stuff out, chances are you're going to get called out as a heathen. You're going to be called as an antichrist. You're going to be called a fake Christian. You're going to be called all this stuff. But when we get into this word and realize the content, the context of these scriptures, you fall back and start realizing, man, what in the world my pastor talking about? There's been plenty of times when folks try to use the scripture from Malachi that talk about, will a man rob God? Yeah. How? Tithe and offering. Like, many of us Christians don't even know the history of this thing called tithing. And the rest of us probably go back to the days of Abraham and realize that Abraham gave a tenth of the things that he got from this war that he was in to this priest called, I don't want to mess up his name, so forgive me, but you know what I'm talking about. This is in the book of Genesis, during the portion of Doing the point of doing the point where he finna rescue Lot or something. Forgive me if I messed that up. So bless me if you can correct me. But here's the thing: we get to the law, then there's all these 10%, a tenth of spices, 10% of wheat, 10% of this, 10% of that. Then we get to Jesus. People are giving out that 10%, but yet there's this one woman who gave out 2 minas, basically like 2 quarters to something, 2 nickels or 2 dimes, whatever the case may be, or $2 golden, whatever the case may be. She gave her 2 minas on the offering, and Jesus was like, that woman right there gave more than everybody else did. Everybody else gave that little 10%, but this woman gave her all, gave what was left of hers. She's gonna get blessed abundant more than the rest. And this is Jesus saying this stuff. Then we get to Paul after Jesus died and rose and resurrected, ascended to heaven. Here's Paul in 2 Corinthians talking about being a cheerful giver. Only give from a cheerful heart, not just grudgingly, not because it's the thing to do, but give because it's the thing, because it's coming from the heart. If you trust God with your money, you will give him 10% if you believe in that 10%. But at this point, you can give God more, or you can give God something. You know what I'm saying? You can give God something because he gave you something. That 10% doctrine has literally been in some shape or form rebutted, debunked, all that stuff, because at this point it's no longer a law requirement. You want to give God 10%, go ahead, but make sure you give it from a cheerful heart. You want to give, if you got less than 10%, okay, give God that percentage, but make sure you give from a cheerful heart. If you want to give God more than 10%, you can give God more than 10%, but make sure it's coming from a cheerful heart. Don't do it because, you either been manipulated or you've been told and taught that if you don't pay tithes, you won't get blessed. But here's another thing I think people need to start realizing. When you do pay tithes and offering, when you do give tithes and offering, you're benefiting the ministry of the church. You're making sure that the light stays on. You're making sure that the AC is on when it's hot and the heat is on when it's cold. You're making sure that the electricity runs so that these speakers and microphones be used. And if you got TVs and DVDs and all that stuff, you're also investing in ministry to upgrade. Because I don't know any Christians, I don't even know many churches that want to still hold on to the equipments of 1990 or even 1970s. We're not even at the point, I don't know if many churches still doing it, but not too many churches are still recording and putting their sermons on CDs. I don't know if they still do that, but I don't think many churches are still recording and putting their stuff on CDs anymore. They probably just record it and send it straight to Spotify or iTunes and stuff. We definitely on a different era. Got to make sure that there is food in the food in the church, because there are some churches that do food drives. There are churches that do clothes drive. Whether people believe it or not, Christians play a part in investing in the movement of ministry in their church. So you can't get mad when the money that you give your pastor through tithing and offering take care of the things that need to be taken care of. Because let's keep it a buck. Most pastors, most Leaders of church are not benefiting from the tithes and offering, because once all the business are taken care of, money goes straight to the bank. Take care of the bills, of light bill, take care of the gas bill, take care of the water bill, take care of the sewer bill. Maintenance in the church. You think the pastor is going to be living off of the remainders? And if come on now, and this ain't me defending the prosperity pastors preaching and stuff like that. This is me knowing how the game goes. Most pastors, most preachers are working individual. They got jobs. Either that or they managed to make a career out of doing other things and investing in other companies or other ministries. But the stuff that they get from the church, after everything is taken care of, they only get this much. So don't just look at Cleflo dollars. Don't just look at Joel Osteen. Don't just look at T.D. Jakes and all these big time mega preachers and thinking that this is what all the churches, every church in America go through, and or better yet, the churches in the world go through. Because not everybody got mega churches. Sorry. So for Cleflo dollars to be in a point where he's at, where he realized that maybe I need to go back, maybe I need to recant on some things and really getting this word and understand what this thing about tithe and offering is about, or what prosperity is all about. Other than that, if he's not really 100% with that, then at this point that checkpoint is it don't mean anything. However, if he is, I say let's give this man some grace and watch him grow so that he can learn from his errors. Because we expect people to do that for us, right? We expect people to give us enough grace to fall so that we can get up. But that's just me. If you like what you heard, there's a like button. If you dislike what you heard, there's a dislike button. Comment. Give me your 2 cents. And hey, you can disagree all you want, but don't be disrespectful. Subscribe. Share this video. Let's continue this conversation. Until then, this your boy P. Lot, aka the Brick Slinger. And as always, continue to sharpen one another. Support the kingdom. Take care and God bless. Laborers.